All right. I cannot wait to get into this conversation with you guys here today. So, first and foremost, you're looking at the title of the video. You're looking at the thumbnail of the video, so you know why we have adjourned here today. Now, you're probably a little bit surprised that I did content with the comedy legend, Corey Holcomb. All right. Shout out to Corey Holcomb, by the way. Shout out to the entire team over there. The exact person that Corey is on screen, he is actually off screen as well. And that's a testament to who he is as a person. And shout out to the whole 5150 chat and family over there. But you guys who have been with me since 2019, 2020, right? You've seen kind of this growth on the channel, right? From coming from somebody who had no idea about YouTube years ago to getting up on here and building something from nothing to a point of, you know, having folks that have built up so much dope equity within their brand that are so talented in so many different facets reach out to you to do collaborations, right? Meeting of the minds, new school, somewhat, I'm getting old now, but new school versus old school, all right? The young buck versus the OG. Let's get together, collaborate, and see what we can do with it, all right? But again, so appreciative of the opportunity. And I haven't looked at the content yet, so I wanted to go over with you guys and have some fun with it. So we had two different conversations. The first one was on the whole Be Simone 9-to-5 man, but all of a sudden now is complaining about shopping at H&M. And then we also talked about that whole Michelle Obama who's trying to ruin Barack Obama's life while he's just trying to retire. Situation. So we talked about those two things. I'm gonna leave a link to the full live stream over on Corey's channel down in the description box down below. Guys, go over there, support the content, tell them MTR sent you. But let's go over a component of the content right now. All right, let's get active.
We have a brother who is going to chip in this week and give us some valuable information and share some of his observations. He is a brother who I see on the internet. It's so weird. It's like, you know, y'all know I'm bad with names, but I was just laughing when Darlene saw who the guest was. She was like, oh yeah, him. Then she started fanning out.
I did it.
Because
shout out to Darlene.
He stands out at what he does.
Yes, he does.
Darlene, you introduce him there. You say his name.
MTR, handsome, very masculine. I like the words he's spreading. Just much respect.
MTR, can you hear us?
Now, let me also set it up. So before the show even started, is like our audio visual check, right? So I can see their visual and I can hear them and they can hear me, but they couldn't see me. So Darlene and I was having a kind of a conversation, but she didn't see my face. And then at the point that my visual came up on the screen, she was like, which was like super endearing and super hilarious. So, but again, shout out to Darlene. Now, I will also say the audio on their side, like I'm pretty sure that Corey and Darlene can hear me correctly, but the audio on the live stream, there was like a little bit of an echo, okay? So I don't think it's gonna interfere too much with the content, but let's just keep going. Yeah, I can hear you guys loud and clear. Can you?
That's what's up. Can everybody see him?
Doesn't hurt to be easy on the
Everybody can see MTR? Brother.
See,
nice.
I am so glad you're here, man.
I didn't know y'all could see
I'm
me
so
there.
glad we found a way to make this happen. I see you over there in your smooth office and it's cracking.
Hey man, listen, they keep telling me it's AI, and I gotta like move some of the flowers so that they can understand it's not, you know?
I didn't want to say that because I was like, I don't want to sound like I'm hating, but that it don't even look real. And so it's dope, man. Hey man, look. First of all, we glad you're here.
Thank you, brother.
And I really want my audience to know who you are because, you know what I'm saying? People who speak with sense and respectability, I'm trying to be like y'all. I speak with sense, but I be like, fuck that bitch. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, man, just explain, just say your name and let people know where they can find you, man, because this is one of the guys, fellas. This is one of the guys. He's standing out.
Hey, man, listen, first and foremost, shout out to you, Corey. Thank you so much for having the team reach out to me. I am so excited to be up here just to chop it up and cook it up with you guys, all right? Shout out to Darlene. Shout out to the 5150 chat. You know, you guys from day one have been real, right? So it's absolutely an honor and a privilege to be in the building. My main platform is on YouTube, so you can find me at The Real MTR. And the long and short about me is, I'm just a dude. I'm just a man who's just been through some real things, learned some real life lessons, and figured out how to build a platform out of nothing. And I take trending topics and decode the weird clown world that we currently exist in today. One viral video at a damn time. So my topics generally cover like self-development, purpose, money, relationships, and calling out bullshit whenever I see it. So
that's a fact.
Again for the invite. Super excited to be here.
Love, bro.
And let me also give you a little bit more insight. So for some reason, my internet service provider is disrespecting me as of late. All right. I'm talking about no service the entire day. That's why I only got like 1.5 video out yesterday. I had to, a couple of hours before this was taped, I had to go buy a mobile hotspot and sign up to a monthly plan, which is insane that I had to do that, but desperate times call for desperate measures. But it also explains why the quality of my video is a lot less than what you guys are seeing right now. Let's keep going.
I'm looking forward to this. We're going to make this work because it was something that I tried to stay away from because I get people acting like I'm mean and vicious, and it actually works on my psyche a little bit when I see things. So when you brought up this topic, I was so glad. I was like, it ain't just me. It's not just me. And like you could bring it up, like what you saw. Do we have the video that he was gonna show, or I didn't even ask about that? Do they got the video?
Nah, yet.
Okay. It was a video, and even if before we get to the video, something you noticed about a famous person and her podcast and what she has to say. That's the alley-oop I'm gonna throw you.
It was a major alley-oop because that could have been the Be Simone podcast or it could have been the Michelle Obama podcast. And I'm like, I don't know which one that he's talking about right now. So let's figure this out on the fly. Sure. So are we talking about the Be Simone situation? Because that's been going viral as of today.
Well, that's been going crazy viral. And like I said, I tried not to say nothing about it because I don't want nobody to be like I'm piling on. But I've been very critical of her because she stole jokes, she stole a book. I mean, it's like, yo, this girl is not mentally stable, if you ask me.
Yeah, something wrong with her.
And that don't stop you from getting famous on the internet.
Yeah,
but
no, it actually adds to your fame.
Her staying power is kind of like, it's really put on display. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's it's funny, because I did content on her like back in 2020, and she was talking about, that she won't date a 9-to-5 guy and like all of this stuff, and just shitting on, essentially the average guy.
He can't have a 9-to-5.
What? Why not? You don't want him to have an honest job?
I mean, he could be a hustling entrepreneur.
So you want him to be you want CEO status?
Yes.
Okay, he can't
So
like, he can't clock in
No wonder she's still single to this day.
and clock out.
No.
Damn, Be
I think
Simone.
entrepreneurs should date entrepreneurs.
Okay, but still, there's people who have really good jobs with vocational skills. If he's a mechanic,
I'm sure, but no, you're not going to understand my lifestyle. You're not going to understand why I'm up at 3 a.m.
Damn, you're making this hard for me. Okay, all right.
He has to be an entrepreneur,
a business owner. He getting one of them stimulus packages from Donald Trump, one of them small business loans, and he ain't buying jewelry with it.
or moving into that direction.
Yeah.
And I find it so interesting that 5 years later, that sounds like she needs a 9-to-5 in order to continue to shop in at Bloomingdale's, right? But it's this like odd superiority complex that she has. And to take a shit on H&M shoppers, yet acting like it's like Goodwill or a thrift store or Salvation Army. Yeah, she acting like it's the end of the world. Yeah. And, her audience is probably like 43% H&M shoppers to begin with anyway. So not only is she ostracizing her audience, but then also shitting on typical, dudes that would want to consider her in a relationship. Because I've seen her multiple times complaining about being single and like all of these things. So So it's just kooky, you know, but it just goes to show like the pure and utter delusion in the clown world that we currently exist in. And I don't know how some of these people are famous. And I don't want to just hop on, you know, continue to hop on it as well. But I do think that it's a good discussion because 9 to 5 dudes and like the importance to our infrastructure, our society. Blue collar dudes stand up, white collar dudes away, the whole country would collapse. Yeah. But I just find it so interesting that, you know, they require this high value man. Meanwhile, they don't bring a high value mindset. Come on. Bars right there. High value man is their requirement. But that high value man is going to require a high value mindset to help meet him where he needs to be met in order to lead the family the places that they've never been, to the promised land and back again. What's up? Let's go. Right?
The high value mindset thing you just said is really deep. I mean, this is something that I feel like these women are clueless about. Like, they think somebody want them other than the physical. And that's what I think is wrong in society. Like, these girls, they really don't get it that if a guy is on his game, where do you fit in his life? Yeah. You can only find a fool. Yeah. Or at least that's
a loser.
My opinion. Come on. You know, what you said, because like I want you to cook. I'm loving letting you cook on here, man. Somebody said you got to get O'Shea Duke Jackson on the show. We gonna get O'Shea Jackson. O'Shea, I love you, boy. God damn it, I feel like O'Shea feel like I scold him a little bit. It ain't like that, brother. I love you, man. We're gonna get you on the show too. He just sent us
there's a little bit of a delay.
Money that is in Africa. It's probably $5. we love O'Shea Duke Jackson. But back
O'Shea sending over the Wakandan dollars.
On the thing we're talking about. Yeah, there's our society has something wrong when it comes to the men and women collaboration. There's something dividing there. And who has the answers? Who's going to talk about it? I mean, I talk about it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, but it's necessary for us. It's necessary to be able to talk about. I know, you know, there's been a little bit of content of like Kevin Samuels talking about the Be Simone situation, you know, years ago. And to know that he was right? They're digging up old content for him talking about where her career was going to go. Something about, you know, a couple of content pieces away from, you know, not having an audience no more, which was, you know, the sign of the times. You know, if you created content during that time of 2020, a lot of content creators were eating because everybody was home. Everybody was home. You know, fast forward to now, you know, it may not have the same, but, you know, we got to be able to talk about this delusion, right? Because the more that we talk about it, you know, the better that people can make choices in going into the future. You know, that's why your platform is so necessary, Corey.
Man, I appreciate you saying that. Do we have that video where brother Kevin Samuels brought up this young lady who found a way to get famous and get the momentum going? But one thing I'm going to tell you about this entertainment business, brother, staying power is not easy. You cannot be a gimmick. There was an episode on The Simpsons where Bart Simpson said something like, where did he go? Where did he go? And everybody was laughing at it. And he started going on tour just saying, where did he go? Then after a while, he was like, where did he go? And people was like,
It's wearing them down.
Right. It's
or they got old.
Yeah.
Right.
It happens. But you got that video?
Let me just pause right there. And I appreciate Corey saying that. And it constantly reminds me that, right, like, let me take the content back like a couple of years. I was doing like a lot more compilations and things like that. And I think that the numbers on the channel shot up when I did that content. It was actually a lot easier to do because you're just pulling clips together and then you come in at certain points and you'll say something. But what I realized is that although the numbers of the channel were going up, the value was going down, right? And the value per viewer was just not what it was even before that. And I realize is that, you know, the more that you utilize other people's things to create something, and it could be described as sort of a gimmick, but it'll get the numbers, right? It'll get the views, but also those people are not going to be staying for you. So they're not going to be following you, right? So the thing is that if you have components of what you're creating that is a gimmick, and then you go back later and you're shitting on the audience that got you to the place that, essentially for Be Simone, made her a millionaire, if not a multimillionaire, right? And you're going back and acting like H&M is beneath you now, and like it's the damn Goodwill or Salvation Army, which is absolutely insane to me. You could have that type of decision-making capabilities. So I didn't want to derail the conversation, but I appreciated him saying that and reminding me, as someone who's still, newly budding within the things that I do right here, is that, you have to put as much value as you can and make sure that you're not wasting people's time. Because if shit really hits the fan one day, the people that were just there for the gimmick or just strictly for the entertainment are not going to follow you onto something else or beyond the drama.
Let me see that video, brother. We're going to try to play this video. You ain't seen this.
All it takes for you to come down to reality, Be Simone, is one wrong post.
Facts.
You are one viral video away, one internet canceling away from being back at Forever 21 selling shit. Since you're an entertainer. Very good one. But it's not like, in times of national emergency, the world, the country turns and says, what's going on Wild 'N Out? What's Be Simone saying?
Facts.
Yeah, What do you think about that?
It's crazy how much he's able to, predict from, even after passing away. But he's absolutely right. I think that, they have this illusion of options. You know what I mean? They love to talk about standards, but then when the attention dries up, when the money slows down, and then when that wall gets closer, when that wall cometh, their standards and expectations that they have is necessary that they then turn into just suggestions at that point. But then oftentimes they don't even want to listen to the suggestions, right? And they keep them standards as high as possible, but they're still expecting someone to be form fit within all of that. That's how you can get average at best in the face, but then wants a CEO. It's like you just can't make this shit up. Meanwhile, CEOs attain above average at best. But yeah, he killed it. He nailed it.
It's like in this world, you can go along with it. I mean, who are we to tell her not to go along with it? She found a way to be relevant for a minute. But why are you relevant if you do dirtbag shit like, I got a homegirl, her name is Just Niece. She don't want no smoke with none of them, so I ain't trying to say that to bring drama to her name. But, that girl Be Simone used to do her jokes. Then when I found out she stole a book, and I've seen the girl talk, I don't think she's mentally well. So I ain't got to dog her out and everything like that, but I'm saying while it was coming in, you know what I'm saying? I know it was fun. Yeah. Time of Your Life, huh, kid? That's from that movie. With I forgot. Old boy was the pimp.
Which one was that?
I forgot. Who the dude who played? I'm trying to remember now with my old ass. The dude who played in the Mission Impossible movies. Who is that? Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
Risky Business. Yeah. That's the name of the movie.
The older movie. Okay.
That's older.
Yeah.
I can't.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. I know, Corey, you said you don't want to say too much, right?
No,
be you,
brother. Be you.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. I just think she's not a good person. I mean, let's call it a spade, because even outside of this 9 to 5 conversation, if you look at that content, if you look at the podcast and just go back like a minute and a half,
and so many women go through that, whether it's a nigga, whether it's a friend, you get hurt, and now you move with this this fear. Guard up, this fear, this anger, you're broken, you're hurt.
Yeah.
So I don't want to ever move like that. I think about all the things I did in my past for people, for friends, for niggas, for family, for the wrong people. The money, I done gave people money. I done bought houses. I done paid for divorces.
Now think about how I feel as your friend.
And then let me tell you, I'm going to get there. Mm-hmm. And I've done all that. And then the right people come around that have the purest heart, that love you so much, and you're stifling and you're looking and you're paranoid and you looking people up and down and you're it's anxiety. that's not coming from a healed place. It's coming from, like you said, bitterness.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like a guard is up.
Yeah.
I've never been like that in my life. And I feel like I'm coming out of that slowly.
Yeah, I think
but there
you are.
was a little moment where I had it, like I was heavy. I was like, and I was aware. I was like, I do not want to be like this.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Yeah.
I hear it in my tone. Like, I agree with you. I can't even say I disagree with you. I feel it.
Yeah. You
It's
were like,
pain.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What she's essentially saying is that for people that were not shit within her life, she wasted her money on all of those people. But those that were her best friends, that we're going to hear in a quick second, didn't receive the blessings that she gave to all of these people that she was seeking validation from.
Let's catch it.
Yeah.
Let's catch it.
Yeah. It's,
That's
you
what
were
it-
swallowing it though, because you didn't have nothing. Okay.
But what were you going to say? And think about how I feel as your...
I mean, this was the hardest season of my life this last year. And sometimes when the public perception is like being a best friend with a celebrity, everybody thinks that, oh, because you're connected to this person, then your life is just as grand as theirs, or you got
it, or they helping you.
Baby, when I tell you, didn't have a job, living with my parents, a single mom, all this happened to me this past year.
Jesus.
And then it's like to not have resentment in my heart towards you because I saw you do this for other people. I saw you give a check to somebody to help them through whatever they went through. And it's like, God, like I love from that's my soul. And I can't nobody didn't give me a handout, but guess what? That wasn't your responsibility. God had to take me through that for my own season, for my own thing. I had to get my car repossessed.
Jesus.
I had to go
Why she keep saying
through the food stamps line. I had to be on Medicaid.
Damn.
Because whatever I'm building my story too.
Single mom.
But it's like, as a friend somebody who has it, it's hard to digest because everybody around you, nobody would they're probably shocked that I'm even saying this right now. All this
As Be
year.
Simone is.
In less than 12 months.
What?
Right before she starts talking about, H&M and all of that, the best friend that she had was talking about like the hard times that she suffered over the past year. Like she was a single mom,
who you're talking
had to go back into live with her parents, got her car repoed, and then a minute and a half later, she's talking about, damn near crying about going into H&M, right? So like, you're seeking out all of this validation with all of these people around you. You giving them money, but how soulless are you that you can't even help out the person that's the closest person to you? Yeah. Like I just think that's just crazy character.
Let me tell you something,
I
man.
know who
People,
you're talking about now.
yeah.
I had no idea who you guys were
People
talking
eat
about. Sorry.
minions.
they should have had the clip ready, but nevertheless, all right, I'm gonna play it in the middle of this. I'm at her to cut it in.
Just my finances. Like, the budgeting, you see how I am nitpicking every little thing.
Never
I've
like that.
never been like that. We were in Bloomingdale's yesterday. I'm like, we have to go to H&M.
You've never budgeted?
Yeah.
Like I notice it in me now, just nitpicking. And it's not even, I just don't have it like to spend the
Yeah.
liquid.
Yeah.
I'm used to having liquid. I'm used to seeing a certain amount in my account,
But you're
it's just my
Okay.
finances.
Listen, it's just my finances. It's the liquid. Listen, there's actual poor people that are currently spitting on their non-existent smartphone right now because they can't afford it. After hearing this dumbass bullshit, I gotta shop at H&M. No! No! What fate is worse than shopping at H&M? I'd rather not. Bloomingdale's. For once in my life, I have to budget. I have to be responsible for my choices, my budgeting choices, my financial decisions. Give me a damn break. Let me also say this as well. I had additional time to think about this whole thing. I think what's actually happening behind the scene over there with Be Simone is, something that can happen to many entertainers when you come from little to next to nothing, and then you're popping for a moment of time, and you begin to lose some of that traction. You get to lose some of that visibility. And then if you get to lose some of that money, that can have an incredible mental toll on you. We see all the time, a lot of these different Hollywood stars losing their mind. And a large degree of the reason that happens is because of that phenomena. I mean, that also probably mixed with alcohol and drugs as well, just warps their mind. And you often see them having a blow up at paparazzi, right? Or having a blow up in a domestic relationship perspective, right? But then something will happen and they come out and then people are just like, what? Why is this person? But then you got to understand that these people are operating in a state of either high depression, high anxiety, right? So that their moves just don't make sense to average, ordinary people. Because that right there don't make no sense, right? How she chose to pour into people that, you know, had more than her from a clout perspective, but then not into her best friend who was obviously struggling. But in her mind, she's probably thinking to herself, well, but if I do this for this person, maybe I can get popping again, right? Maybe I can gain this status again. Maybe I can, you know, be on this roller coaster of life again, right? So that's the reason why she chooses to prioritize that. Now, at the same time, as I say these things, I gain as a little bit more sympathy for the situation. But I think like as a content creator, if you do not save money, if you're not investing correctly, like shit, why is it that you guys never see me out here with all this expensive this and all of these cars and, you know, houses that are, you know, big as a damn apartment building? Number one, I ain't got it like that. But then number two, I'm investing my money wisely, right? So that if this was to get snatched away from me, I'm good. Financially free. Ain't got a debt to my name. Houses or nothing. Nothing. So I'm good. You understand? So I think that's probably what's also happening behind scenes as well. But let's finish up the conversation.
Sound like that girl.
People who find a way to break through, but aren't the truth as talent, they have to have minions around them.
Yes,
and
man.
they don't ever want to see those minions doing well, especially in any way where they're doing well as them. So that type of behavior doesn't surprise me. I know how it go. You would rather see a stranger get it than the girl you know. So
And want you to do good, but not better than them.
Because I think I got you by some years, my brother. As you are out here and you build friendships, alliances with people, just always remember there's a mentality inside of a lot of human beings. I don't want you to be as well as I am. I don't want you to be as well off as I am. I don't want you to be doing good or just as good as me. So I see that in that girl also, but to luck with her.
You know, which is also why I'm appreciative for like Corey and I to get together and just chop it up, right? You know, especially too, because a lot of the topics that we address is, you know, on occasion, similar topics, right? So to have him invite me on, right, to talk about things from my perspective, I mean, you know, he's speaking to what he's saying.
You know what I'm saying? Did you hear how I said that? To luck with her.
To luck.
Yeah, it's probably tough that she's got to deal with these situations, you know, these character flaws in front of the damn world. But, you know, someone needs to pull it to the side and, you know, have a real conversation with her the same way that you having a real conversation with me. And I appreciate that, which is why, again, I say that platforms like yours is just so necessary, so needed, bro.
You brought to attention Michelle Obama's podcast because I saw it and I just my mouth dropped at what I heard her say. What did you hear her say? I know it was a lot of things, but what was the main thing that made your mouth drop?
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna pause the content right here. I'm gonna leave a link to this conversation again if you guys want to go finish out the content down in the description box down below. Last but not least, for those that are still here with me right now, shout out to the MT Army. One love to the MTRers. Thank you guys for continuing to support me. Again, it is crazy to, you know, react to someone's content and then they hit you up like, yo, come on, I gotta introduce you to my audience. So again, shout out to 5150 chat, Corey. Thank you so much for the invitation, my brother. Also, too, at the end of the live stream, we talked about future collabs in the future as well. So, you know, go check that out as well if you do so choose. But again, shout out to my community. I would not be in my current position if it wasn't for y'all. So I want to make it abundantly clear and abundantly obvious at how grateful that I am with you guys continuing to like the content, continuing to share the content, continuing to hit up the content creators that you think that I need to be having conversations with. All right. So with that being said, let me get out of here and I'll see you guys soon. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.
She belongs to the street.
Girl, don't hold my hand. You a mattress actress on the OnlyFans. Get your money, girl, but damn, how is that your only plan? What you gonna do when you get too old to strip and dance? Get up out your echo chamber screaming period and yes. You a low down dirty woman if you try to get knocked up by a high